परम पूज्य सोना रिम्पोचे की दूरदर्शी सोच और प्रयासों से परम पावन दलाई लामा के आशीर्वाद से भारत के टेलीविजन इतिहास में पहली बार शुरू हुआ है एक टेलीविजन कार्यक्रम जो समर्पित है भगवान बुद्ध के दर्शन, ज्ञान और बौद्ध परंपराओं को। कार्यक्रम में दुनिया के तमाम बड़े बौद्ध धर्मगुरु, बौद्ध ज्योतिष शास्त्री रोज आप तक पहुंचा रहे हैं अमूल्य जानकारियां। सबसे पहले देखिए बौद्ध धर्म से जुड़ी महत्वपूर्ण जानकारियां।
पिछले एपिसोड से आप देख रहे हैं कि शांति के क्षेत्र में नोबेल पुरस्कार से सम्मानित 3 महिला शख्सियत परम पावन दलाई लामा से कई महत्वपूर्ण विषयों पर चर्चा करने धर्मशाला पधारी हैं। परम पावन दलाई लामा को भी शांति के क्षेत्र में दुनिया के सबसे बड़े पुरस्कार नोबेल पुरस्कार से नवाजा जा चुका है। तो आइए देखते हैं विश्व शांति के इन महान दूतों के बीच हुए वार्तालाप को।
Can I ask another question? When you all have had a chance now to look at the Tibetan refugee community, so what do you think is the most important lesson for other refugee groups around the world to learn from, and what can they gain from this Tibetan refugee experience?
I don't know. I think we have very little contact with other refugees, except some Vietnamese from the religious level. We have some connection, some Vietnamese refugee or Cambodian refugee, like that. But then the Tibetan refugee settle in different countries, in Switzerland or Canada and also America, of course Nepal, and most cases, and India also, the Tibetan refugee community's relation with local people generally very good. And I received quite a number of sort of occasion the local Indian officials praising the Tibetan community, Tibetan refugee community. They are hardworking and disciplined. Sometimes they make sort of comparison to local tribes. You see, although Tibetan also quite lazy, so there's some of these tribes even more lazy. So the local sort of officials, you see, very much praising, you see, Tibetan, generally gentle and hardworking, and more because of that. Sherab Sangpo, humility, and also in America, and also in Canada, some of the local people, where Tibetan settlement, Tibetan community there, they, of course, occasionally some problems also there. It is quite understandable, but basically, people love Tibetan, generally speaking. So through that, I think one example, little contribution regarding ahimsa, non-violence. One ex-official who served many years in here, he eventually settled in America. He is working one kitchen of big university. So his sort of work is cleaning vegetable. So while he was cleaning vegetable, whenever he found some insect, he always put it in a pot. Then later that sort of bring to somewhere in the soil or some vegetation area, release them. So at the beginning, also some of his colleagues, when he used to pick up additional work, isn't it, and put there. So some of his colleagues at the beginning, a little bit surprised. So they usually kill. So then later, his colleagues also used to follow his pattern, or pick up the insect and put in pot, and then later release. So that's one small contribution for practice of non-violence.
कैसे दूर हो आपके जीवन की मुश्किलें, कैसे सवरे आपका करियर, कैसे सफल हो आपका हर काम, क्या कहते हैं आपकी किस्मत के सितारे। जानिए सटीक होने वाली बौद्ध भविष्यवाणियां।
Namaste Tashidilek. 19th December Sunday, 13th day of the 11th lunar month. The elemental combination is fire and fire. A good combination, and this brings growth and increase. Indication of receiving gifts and offers are there. The day is specifically good for doing business, planting grains, practicing generosity, and making offerings to wealth deities. Puginamgo falls on this day, so you should avoid birthday celebration and avoid taking your newborn baby outside for the first time. Bumtong or empty ways is at north direction, so avoid all important activities, especially funeral procession, while facing north. Moreover, the Lord of Earth, Asada Simpung, moves from south to north direction during 5 p.m. to till 12 a.m. So, undertaking journey towards that direction could be unfavorable. The day is favorable for people that belong to dog animal sign. But the day Sunday and constellation Mintu or called Kritika in Sanskrit, these two combination on this day is specifically inauspicious for funerals. 20th December, Monday, 14th day of the 11th lunar month. The elemental combination is fire-water, which is unfavorable combination. But from 11:48 a.m. it changes to earth-water, a good combination, and this brings youthfulness and happiness. Good day to enjoy parties, dressing up, and playing games. The day of Sojong, good day for generating marriage and purifying sins by making confession to one's spiritual teacher. Maginamgo is there. Violent activities, especially taking part in physical fight, will not give good result. Bumtong or empty ways is at north direction, so avoid all important activities, especially funeral procession, while facing north. BT starts from 9:48 a.m. to 9:48 p.m. So in this duration, you should refrain from performing and undergoing thoracic therapies like moxibustion, bloodletting, and golden needle therapies. 21st December, Tuesday, 15th day of the 11th lunar month. The elemental combination is earth-fire, inauspicious combination. Such elements has burning energy to generate suffering. Total lunar eclipse will occur today. However, in India it will be during noon. Therefore, we cannot see lunar eclipse from India. On the other hand, the day is very auspicious for all spiritual activities. As in Kalachakra text, Danjin Shewa Thungurishe, it says that accumulation of each virtuous deeds will multiply by crores. The day of Nyengin Namgo, so parties, especially among friends and relatives, should be strictly avoided. Bumtong or empty base is at north direction, so avoid all important activities, especially funeral procession, while facing north. Overall, from 1 p.m., the day is favorable for people belong to mouse and pig animal sign, and unfavorable for horse and snake animal sign. Thank you and see you tomorrow at same time.
क्या है भगवान बुद्ध का दर्शन, बौद्ध धर्म का गूढ़ ज्ञान, कैसे मिले दुख से मुक्ति, कैसे पाए बुद्धत्व, क्या है धम्मम, क्या है संघम, ये कार्यक्रम आपको हर रोज दे रहा है ऐसे तमाम सवालों के जवाब। आज बौद्ध धर्म के प्रकांड विद्वान परम पावन दलाई लामा से जानिए भगवान बुद्ध का दर्शन और बौद्ध धर्म का सही ज्ञान।
So then, as a Buddhist, I am a Buddhist monk. So here, the majority are Buddhist, and mainly they follow of the Chinese Buddhist tradition. So historically, Buddhism from India reached mainland China. Then Buddhism reached Tibet. I think at least 300-400 years after that. So therefore, you are senior student of Buddha. We are junior. So logically, junior student must respect senior student. And I often see teasing a senior student. As far as knowledge is concerned, junior students' knowledge not bad. I think it's a Tibetan tradition. There is real rigorous study about Buddha Dharma. Usually, in order to become scholar, it took 20-30 years for study. Very rigorous. And also the method for study also through debate, dialectical sort of debate. So that very helpful to get precise meaning. Of course, my own sort of knowledge compared these top scholars among Tibetan, of Tibetan, of course my knowledge is very limited. Even in my own case, I think at least 13 years I study, and those root texts I learn by heart, and then get commentary, or explanation according to these different commentary. Mainly those writing wrote by Nalanda master, like Longsu Pusa, as top master of Nalanda tradition. Like that. So I think now after 51 years meeting or having the opportunity meeting with a variety of people, and including Buddhist brothers sisters from different Buddhist country, and having sort of discussion, sharing each other sort of what's the experience, knowledge, and it become quite clear. The Tibetan knowledge is quite good because rigorous study. And also in Tibetan tradition, the emphasis about logic very much there. So whereas in Pali tradition and Chinese tradition seems, I think, less logics, like Dignak. I don't know this Chinese word. Dignak kasire. Dignak. Dignak and Dharmakirti. These two Nalanda masters, really top logician. And then also the person who who introduced Buddhism in Tibet, I think 8th century and in the beginning of 9th century, the Shantarakshita. He himself, great philosopher and a great logician. So, therefore, I think in Tibetan tradition, they very much emphasize the importance of study and through logical way, sort of debate like that, as I mentioned earlier, like that. So in any way, I'm very happy. You see, again, once more, you see, talk or share. Mainly, it's a Buddhist, Buddhist tradition, like that. Now, obviously, the experience about pains and pleasure, joyfulness, or these things are mental element. Not like, of course, the chemical reaction also, in some extent, chemical reaction also there, like external plants of these things. Too much heat is some reaction. Too cold, some reaction. But we believe no experience of feeling. We, not only human being, but also the other sort of beings who have the, what you call, cognitive, cognitive. You see, with that, the experience also there. In the experience of feeling, the positive feeling, negative feeling. Of course, positive and negative means those things which by nature we want is positive. Those things we do not want is negative. So, the comfortable feeling we want. The uncomfortable feeling we do not want. There's no need reason to prove that. By experience, we already have that feeling. First of all, we all have this sense of I. And with that, the sense of experience, or sense of the experience, I want a happy life. I do not want suffering. That feeling there. So, now these experiencing, although some extent physically, but main sort of experiencer, right, is mind. So, as I mentioned earlier, now for example, physical level, those people who have, all the facility there, the physical level, very happy, very comfortable. But mental level, there are people, even billionaire, as far as material facility is concerned, plenty. But mentally, very unhappy. Among some my friend, very rich, but as a person, very unhappy person.